Guys, Arnold is back. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Terminator Genisys, the new Terminator film, the fifth Terminator film in the Terminator franchise. Once again, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was missing in the last film. With that being said, what did I think of Terminator Genisys, the new Terminator movie? Let's get into it. First of all, this cast. The cast, I heard a lot of people complaining about the cast. Yes, it's great to have Arnold back. Everyone loves Arnold and is praising him because there's only one person that can really play the Terminator. No, not really, actually. Anyone can play the Terminator because it's a one-note character. He's a robot who, kind of connects to the human that grows attached to him. Except if you go back and watch the original Terminator film, the Terminator was just a killing machine. Well, in the second, third, and so on, the Terminator, the main Terminator character, has always been connected to the human, either John Connor or, in this case, Sarah Connor, where the Terminator is more of a father figure to her in this story. I like that. It kind of reminded me of John Connor's relationship to the Terminator in Terminator 2. So it was a really interesting relationship, and seeing Sarah take on that role, that John Connor role from Terminator 2 instead, I thought that was a cool relationship. Kyle Reese, played by Jai Courtney. I know a lot of people are not too fond of Jai Courtney, and I'll admit, when I saw him in A Good Day to Die Hard, I thought I didn't get into his character in that movie, but I actually thought he was pretty good as Kyle Reese. I liked him as Kyle Reese in this movie and thought he was alright. Not too bad. The three leads in this movie are really good. Well, actually, there's a fourth lead, Jason Clarke as John Connor, who guys, the trailer spoiled everything. John Connor's the bad guy in this movie. So, if you've seen the trailers, it's already spoiled either way. So, John is basically infected by, Skynet. Skynet has infected him somehow. I'll let the movie explain it because, whatever. That's where the movie starts to get a little messy here and there. But for the most part, I found it to be a fun twist. You even want to consider it a twist. I mean, if it's ruined in the trailer, I don't think it's a twist. But anyways, I like that aspect of the film. I thought it was interesting. I didn't like the resolution with it, though, at the end. I thought it has me a little curious about future installments of the film. Which brings me to the overall, I thought this new setting that the movie is now going in, there's some interesting things about it and there's some confusing things about it. And I'm sure if they do a sequel, they'll explain everything. And I'm hoping we kind of do get a sequel because I want to see how they'll explain some uncertain elements of what can come ahead. There is a little bit of setup in this movie that kind of, gets us prepared for other films. And that was the whole intent of this, to create a whole new trilogy. And I'll be interested to see. I think this movie is going to do fine. It's the Terminator franchise. I think there's a strong fan base there. They do create some new time traveling, like the multiverses type of scenario. So I'm curious to see where they're going to take this franchise, because I think there's a lot there that they can play with. There's a lot of characters in this movie, though, supporting characters that really don't do much, like J.K. Simmons and Matt Smith, for an example, are two characters that were in the movie, but they're barely in it. And I think Matt Smith can return because his role seems like that kind of role. J.K. Simmons was in the movie, and when he was there, he was fun to watch. But he's barely used. Like, if I had to guess, maybe 10 minutes of the movie he's in there for. Scattered, obviously, throughout the film. Matt Smith was even less, Doctor Who, you know. And if you're going into seeing those guys, you're gonna be heavily disappointed. So, guys, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to say, you know, I enjoyed Terminator Genisys. I know it's getting a lot of hate right now from a lot of critics. More people probably smarter than me are hating on this movie, and maybe they're right. Maybe it isn't that great of a movie. Personally, me, if you ask me, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film. I didn't. I like the twists and the changes that it's done, and I'm curious to see where they'll bring it, because I think there's some interesting new things now that they can play with in this new sandbox. There are some things that I didn't like, and something about Arnold playing the Terminator in this movie and in Terminator 3 that kind of bugs me is that sometimes it feels to me like Arnold is trying to give it emotion. You know, it's supposed to, you know, the Terminator is a robot. You don't give a robot emotion, but I feel sometimes Arnold is trying to give a little bit of emotion to the Terminator. I don't know about that, but anyways, I say see it, guys. 7 out of 10, that's what I'm giving it. So it's your choice. I mean, you can listen to all the professional critics that are a lot more smarter than me out there that probably are right, or you can listen to me, someone who's weird and has, I guess, weird taste in film, and once in a while, guys. I mean, this is no Dark Knight. I am going to admit this. I said Terminator 2 was the best Terminator movie of all time, so I'm not that crazy, but even in a flawed film, I can still find some enjoyment to it. So, with that being said, guys, I don't know. I think this is better than Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation. And I like those films too. I thought they were fun, goofy. The third one was a fun, goofy film with hardly any story. It's pure popcorn. This one's popcorn too, I'd say. You don't need much. It does get a little bit complicated towards the end with the whole explanation of multiverses and time travel and whatnot, but for the most part, yeah, it's an enjoyable film. Go check it out, or yeah, listen to anyone else. I don't care. But if you trust me, you got my answer. So until next time, guys, take care.